There are 4 walls and 2 rings of the inguinal canal. The floor of the inguinal canal is made up by the inguinal ligament, lacunar ligament, which is under the inguinal ligament, and the iliopubic tract at the lateral end of the canal. The roof of the inguinal canal is made up by the transversalis fascia on the lateral end, and the aponeurosis of the internal oblique and the transversus abdominis muscles centrally, and the medial crus with the intercrural fibers medially. The anterior wall of the inguinal canal is mostly made up of the external oblique aponeurosis, but is also made up of the aponeurosis of the internal oblique laterally. Finally, the posterior wall of the inguinal canal is made of the transversalis fascia, while the medial part of the canal is also made up by the conjoint tendon, which is the fusion of the aponeuroses of the transversus abdominis and the interior oblique muscles. The 2 rings are the superficial ring and the deep ring. The superficial ring is the opening in the aponeurosis of the external oblique, while the deep ring is the opening in the transversalis fascia. So in the female, the gubernaculum here is attached to the caudal pole of the ovary and projects into the labia majora, like this. However, the ovary does not move down the canal, so the gubernaculum stays in the inguinal canal and becomes a round ligament. However, in a male, the gubernaculum is attached to the caudal pole of the testes and pulls it down the inguinal canal. So it's going to go all the way through and move all the way down the inguinal canal and pull it down into the scrotum. There are 3 types of umbilical folds: the median umbilical fold, the medial umbilical folds, and the lateral umbilical folds. The depression formed between the medial and lateral umbilical folds is called the medial inguinal fossa, and it's also called the inguinal triangle. The lateral inguinal fossa are lateral to the lateral fold. You can determine the type of hernia by looking at which fossa it is protruding through. Direct hernias protrude through the inguinal triangle when the wall becomes too weak and continues to travel down the inguinal canal, while indirect hernias protrude through the lateral fossa and travels down through the deep ring all the way down to the superficial.